You're listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. I'm your host, Heather Angel, and I've been helping people tune into what lights them up and increase their personal and professional performance for over a decade. Now I'm best known as a high-performance coach, helping entrepreneurs like you cut through the noise and create a business and life on your terms. If you're ready to step out of struggle and discover how simple it can be to create a fulfilling, joyful, and successful business without all the overwhelm and long hours, you're in the right place. In this episode, we're going to have a conversation about using the moon and the new moon in particular to help you stay in alignment with the goals that you've set for yourself this year. So yes, if you've listened to the Focused and Fearless podcast since the beginning, you will know that I will go on all kinds of different routes or ways of helping you, whether it be a strategy, a tactic, or something a little bit more left field, a little bit more woo, which is what today's episode is all about. And it's about using the moon. So bear with me. If you're a very left brain person, you're like, this woman's crazy, stay with me. This is going to be a fairly short episode. I'm going to give you actionable steps to use at the new moon and the full moon to help you have your best year ever. So let's dive in. First and foremost, if working with the moon intrigues you and this is something you want to learn more about, I highly recommend you get your hands on Yasmin Boland's book, Moonology. I'll put the details below in the show notes, but she wrote a book called Moonology, and she also creates an annual diary, which I highly recommend as well. I'm not a partner of Yasmin's, let's be completely transparent. These are not affiliate links or anything like that. I've never met the woman, but I really love everything she's talking about, and her books have been really, really useful for me. So if you're really interested in this, grab her book. One tip I would say is don't listen to Moonology on Audible. It's a really difficult listen. Get yourself the actual hard copy of the book. So let's dive into the new moon. The new moon is when you set your intentions for the next 4 weeks. I love the new moon. I get very excited around the new moon because it's almost like a fresh start. You know, that really excited energy we have at the beginning of the year, and many of us feel it around September time as well because the kids go back to school and we sort of start afresh. It's that feeling every 4 weeks because it's a new moon and it's a time for us to really get present about what we want to bring into our reality over the next 4 weeks. So it's almost like a goal setting exercise every 4 weeks. But what I do, and again, if you want to read into the full ritual that Yasmin recommends, grab her book. But what I do is I keep it really simple. I do 2 things. The first is I set my intentions for the coming 4 weeks. Now, sometimes there might be just one thing. There might just be one thing that I'm working on in my business, or even in my personal life. There might be something that I want to create, something I want to change. Sometimes there's 10 things. It really doesn't matter. Don't restrict yourself thinking, oh, well, I can't possibly wish for too many things. You can wish for whatever you want. So I set my intentions for the coming 4 weeks. I then visualize and spend not long, like we're talking maybe 1 or 2 minutes on each of those things that I want to bring into my reality. I spend a couple of minutes visualizing how it would be when that is my reality. And I actually feel as though it has already happened. Now, I've been working with meditation and visualization for quite a while now, so I can easily put myself into that state. And, you know, for a couple of minutes, it's very easy because your mind doesn't wander too much in that short period of time. So I just focus on that intention. And let's say, for example, maybe your intention is to bring in 3 new ideal clients over the next 4 weeks. So I visualize what that might look like. You picture what those clients might be like. You maybe picture them signing the contract or clicking on that Kajabi link to sign up to your membership, whatever it might be. You can visualize that happening, and actually don't just see the pictures in your mind. Feel the excitement that you will feel when you see that PayPal link come through to your email saying someone signed up, or you know that you have that contract come through saying, yep, I've signed up, let's get started. Whatever it is for you, just really feel how amazing it would feel for you when it actually happens. So those are the 2 things I do at a new moon. I set my intentions and I visualize that they're happening. Now, After this, so those are the two things I would highly recommend you do. If you've never done anything with the new moon, those two I would say are a minimum. Now, the different couple of things I do is I also burn the list of things that I've written down. So I write my intentions down in my Moonology diary, because I like to keep track, and it's fun to look back at the end of the year of all the different things that I was trying to bring into my reality and what has happened and what hasn't. But I write them down on a piece of paper as well. And that's the piece of paper I use when I'm looking at it and visualizing it. That's the piece of paper I use. And then what I do is I burn it. So I always do this process, unless I'm away in a hotel obviously, but I always do this process at home in my front room where I have an open fire. So I then burn that list. You can do it somewhere safe, maybe in a sink or in a fireproof bowl or something like that. Just be really careful, obviously, but burn the list, because this helps you. It symbolizes you releasing attachment to the outcome. Okay, the universe knows what it's doing. It will bring you everything you need at the perfect time with ease and grace. You do not need to push or hustle or struggle to create your perfect reality. But sometimes the way you think it's going to work out is actually completely different to what the universe has in mind. And there may be something even better that you haven't even considered. So yes, set your intentions. Yes, visualize them coming into reality. Let the universe know that this is what you want to manifest. But then burn the list and release any feeling of control or attachment. There's nothing else you need to do apart from taking the aligned actions. So you need, if you want to bring in 3 clients, that's the example we used. You need to go out and you need to speak to people. You need to put out an offer. You need to maybe run a launch. You need to reach out to those ideal clients and say, hey, I've got an opening for my coaching practice. Would you like to have a conversation? So you can't just sit on your legs, to meditate and think, oh, it will all perfectly happen. You need to take aligned action, but just know that it's already working out for you in your favor. So you've burnt that list, release the attachment to the outcome. I also burn white sage, which I do at any point where I'm trying to clear the old and bring in the new. And so those are just a couple of extra things that I do. You can do them, you cannot do them. It's entirely up to you. But at least as a minimum, at the next new moon, which depending on when you listen to this, the next new moon as I'm recording this is the 24th of January. You can do your wishes or your intentions and your visualization. So let's move on to the full moon. The full moon is a completely different energy. The full moon is all about releasing and gratitude and forgiveness. Now, the great thing about the full moon is it's an opportunity for you to let go of anything that's holding you back. Really release any struggles that you've had and forgive anyone that you feel has wronged you, including yourself. Now, I think this is the most powerful part of the full moon. As entrepreneurs, certainly the clients that I work with a lot of coaches, therapists and healers. We want to help so many people and we have very high standards for ourselves. So if things don't necessarily go the way we wanted them to, or we don't necessarily perform to the standards that we've set for ourselves, we can be incredibly judgmental. And the great thing about the full moon is it gives us an opportunity to reflect on the past 4 weeks, really look at our performance objectively, and maybe just forgive ourselves for anything that we feel we've done wrongly. And I'm putting that in commas, anything we've done wrongly or anything we've done that has not necessarily been to our highest purpose. We can just forgive ourselves. If we didn't make it to the gym that 3 times that week, forgive yourself. Allow yourself to go, okay, I'm human. Now I know that this is what I've done. I can do better next time. And also forgive people that have caused you any pain or any problems, people that you seem to perceive has wronged you. You can visualize them in your mind and forgive them. So forgiveness is very, very powerful. And maybe, this should be a whole new episode on forgiveness because it is incredibly powerful, but it can be incredibly challenging when you first start doing it as well. So again, Yasmin talks about a whole process that she does in her Moonology diary. For me, all I do is I think back over the past 4 weeks and I write down anyone that's kind of bugged me. Anyone that I don't have any explicit language in these episodes. So insert whatever word you want, but someone that's really hacked you off, okay? Anyone that's done that, whether that be online, offline, in person, maybe it's your husband, your wife, your partner, your parents, your children, whatever it might be. Anyone that's just caused you a little bit of a gripe that month, just write their name down and then visualize them in your mind and forgive them. And you can just literally do that as visualizing yourself saying to them, I forgive you, please forgive me, because we are also the creators of these situations. We have brought this into our reality somehow. So you need to forgive yourself as well and allow them in your mind to forgive you. So forgiveness is a big thing at the full moon. And also gratitude. Oh my gosh. Gratitude is important all the time because it's very, very, very easy, especially when we are so spoiled in the West. We are so privileged. We don't even see it half the time. We have heating, we have homes, we have running water, food, an abundance of food. We have so much. We have internet, we have so much to be grateful for all the time that we don't even see it. So again, the full moon is a great opportunity, as you should be doing, as they should, as I invite you to do at any time, but the full moon especially. Get really present to how flipping amazing life is and how much you already have to be grateful for. And especially in your business, if you're going to be using this to help grow the success of your business, take this as an opportunity to be grateful for the clients you have. You might be chasing for more clients. You might have just started your business and you're like, I need more clients because I need to make more money. How about being grateful for the amazing clients you already have? Being grateful for the money that you are already bringing in. Be grateful for the lessons you've already learned. So the full moon is all about forgiveness and gratitude. And I do something very similar in terms of routine as I do at the new moon, is that I write down my forgiveness list. I visualize each person in my mind and myself. There's always forgiveness work that I do for myself as well. And then I burn that letter. I do love a good letter burning. I do love a good list burning. So I burn that, release it. It's the past, it's gone, and I'm ready for new things. And then I allow myself to just sit for a while and be grateful and very present. So it's a great time to meditate. Again, burning some white sage is beautiful as well because it really just clears that negative energy, brings in the new. And so that's what I do at the full moon. So those are just two simple parts of the lunar cycle that you can follow, the new moon and the full moon. If you don't want to purchase Yasmin's books, just Google the new moon, find out the dates that it's happening and just plot it on your calendar. I'm totally into all this stuff, so I do plot on my calendar the new moon, the full moon and Mercury retrograde, just so I know when to back up everything, just in case the Mercury retrograde, causes my laptop to go completely AWOL. So I do plot these things and I really use it in my business every single month to make sure that I am staying true to myself, staying authentic, keeping on track with what I really want to create in my business. And it just really helps me stay aligned. And the results I've seen in my business and how I show up have been truly phenomenal. I have allowed myself I closed down my old membership last year and created a new version of it. It's now a premium membership, including private coaching. That's not something I would have done. I'm pretty confident it's not something I would have done without using the moon cycles, because I allowed myself to really tune into what I wanted. And I'm doing that on such a regular basis, rather than a couple of years ago where I would set my goals at the beginning of the year and I would just blindly work my arse off to get to those goals without really checking in with myself or my true desires throughout the year about whether this was really what I wanted. And FYI, when you work from a place of hustle and just blindly working hard towards your goals, 9 times out of 10, you just aren't going to achieve them. Or even worse, what I found is when you do achieve them, they feel totally empty because they don't really light you up. They're not really what your soul was craving. It wasn't something you truly desired. It was just a goal you set for yourself at the beginning of the year and you decided, right, that's what it is. I'm going to go and work towards that. But sometimes when you achieve that goal, if it's not in true alignment, it doesn't bring you the joy that you think it might do. So anyway, that is probably from another episode, but that is how I use the new moon and the full moon. So just to recap, new moon, set your intentions and visualize them coming into reality. Then burn the list of your intentions to release the attachment. And on a full moon, really forgive anyone, including yourself, that you feel has not come up to your standards or has done you wrong. And be in gratitude for all the success and abundance already in your life. And burn that list of people and situations that you wish to forgive. So I hope you found that useful. A bit of a different episode today. But as always, I'm on Instagram. Hit me up in the DMs and let me know what you thought. And the podcast is now on iTunes. So I would love for you to leave a review. Let me know the feedback. And is there anything else you would like me to talk about? Is this the kind of episode you would love to hear? If you love a bit of woo and I love a little bit of the alternative stuff, I have loads more for you. So have an amazing week and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. If you'd like to continue the conversation or have a question that you would like answered in an upcoming episode, head over to Instagram and connect with me at Heather Angel Coaching. If you enjoy this podcast, please share your thoughts in a review on iTunes. I truly value your feedback and I take the time to read every single review. Have a beautiful week and I'll see you in the next episode.